All right, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Style here. And again, as I am your host, Fernando, and here we go. Let's talk about what happened in the final second leg of the Champions League. And if you're watching this video, we literally just found out that PSG and Arsenal are in the final. First of all, let's talk about what happened because I was watching both of these games, and I have to say, on I want to say the first game, it was so good because that whole time I was watching Arsenal just go crazy, and I think this is the first time I realized where I made my mistake the last time because I predicted Atletico Madrid were gonna actually do something. Yeah, that was way off. Arsenal actually did something. They came into the game thinking, okay, we're gonna be boring as fuck. We're gonna stay back. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, if Atletico Madrid are going to Arsenal, and they know that it's very hard to beat Arsenal at home, why are they not putting all their pressure in? And I don't even want to talk about Arsenal because defensively, Arsenal are like really good. Let's point that out. Arsenal defense did amazing. They did not let anything down. But what I will say is, Atletico Madrid coming into this game, I was so disappointed in them because not only did they start their whole team. I mean, it's unbelievable that Atletico Madrid come into this game with 0 goals, literally zero passion. I mean, look at this. The whole lineup was Julian Alvarez, Griezmann, Lookman. You know they had Giovanni Simon play on the right. Such a good lineup. I mean, they had the lineup. And they didn't do anything. They literally did not do anything. Look at that. They only got 2 shots on target. The fact that they only got 2 shots on target and they took 5 shots this whole game, they literally barely touched the ball. I think there was one time where Sorloth had a chance to score the first goal and he didn't score. Now I will say there was a foul on Griezmann where they didn't call VAR checked. Obviously didn't call the penalty, which again, did I think it was a penalty? Maybe, but you really can't decide a game over a fucking penalty because it's just so bad. And I hate to say that Arsenal got lucky, but honestly, they did everything they had to do. Defend the game, literally score a tap in, and get to the final. I was expecting, if anything, I was expecting more from this game because I thought Atletico Madrid, knowing the stakes of the amount of years that they were in the semifinals, the amount of times they got to the final, and then they end up not doing anything. It hurts for me to say that if Atletico Madrid didn't make it into the semifinal and Barca got into the semifinal, honestly, I would think Barca would have a better side going into this, and they would definitely go after Arsenal. They would be way more better in the semifinal than Atletico Madrid. But the fact that Atletico Madrid got to the semifinal, it just ruined it. I mean, they're literally the last Spanish team to even get to the semifinal for this year, and they disappointed. Yeah, they disappointed. But I will say, congrats to Arsenal making the final. Honestly, what a boring fucking game. I didn't want to watch any more than I had to. That whole time I'm thinking, yeah, they're probably gonna go into extra time, draw pens, but either way, they made it to the final. Nothing you can say about Arsenal. Now again, let's talk about the other match that I thought was gonna be a better match, but it also ended up being so lackluster. Not only did I think this was gonna be like a goal thriller, because we all knew that the first leg was such a good leg. Like I mean, they scored almost 9 goals. They scored almost 9 goals in the first leg. That it doesn't happen in such a long time. But I will say, I think PSG played so much better because not only were did they score first, they defended the game so good where I think a lot of people didn't realize how good they can switch up the play from full attack and then defend, full attack, defend. I mean, they literally the whole time they were running down the field, still with the same energy, still were on the ball, not letting anything through. I mean, they literally closed down Kane, Olise, Luis Diaz the whole 90 minutes, did not let him get anything until maybe the last 4 seconds of the game where Kane had like one chance in the box. He moved to the side, shot right at the goal and scored. That one time was the only time they really were off the ball. But at that time, Dembele came off. They literally had everyone coming off. I will say though, there was one moment where there was a chance where Nuno Mendes could have been sent off because he did have a yellow card, and then he did end up um getting a handball. But the thing is, when they replayed it back, it looked like Limer grabbed it with his hand, so it didn't really count as a handball. You can call it as a handball, but if Limer hit his hand first and then Mendes hit his, you can't really say it's another yellow because obviously it contradicts each other. So it ended up not being a red. At first when I saw it I thought it was a red, but then they played back the video and obviously it showed that it wasn't a red. But what I will say is it definitely made me realize how much of a good team PSG is right now. Not only did they dominate this game, but they knew what they were doing. Defensively, they knew what they were doing. I mean, yeah, like Bayern Munich had the ball the whole time, sure. But were they doing anything with it? Yes, they were, but at the same time, the defense was so good. Like I think this game, Mendes changed the whole team. And honestly, I want to give credit to Zari Emery because he was such a good player keeping Luis Diaz down. I didn't think he can play right back the way he did, but he kept them locked in. Like he literally locked in, did not let Diaz on in the box. He did not even let him cross the ball. He was literally on him like a rat. The fact that Zaire Emery got him so close to winning this game, I think Luis Enrique he's just a genius. He's literally just a genius. I honestly didn't think he could play right back. I mean, obviously I don't watch much PSG, but I will say that was like tactically that was such a good move because I thought, I mean, without Hakimi, it is harder to play, as a team because Hakimi is such a good player, and he's quick, and he runs down, the whole field up. This guy assists, scores, literally shoots everything. But the fact that he had Luis Diaz locked down, I think that is the main reason why Bayern Munich weren't as much of a threat as everyone thought. And like I said before, in the first video where I made my predictions where I thought Bayern Munich were gonna come back, I think they tried their best, but PSG, such a good game. I think they defended the game really good, where keeping Bayern Munich down to not score anything until like the last second. I think that's what made PSG get to the final. But what I will say, we all know that this final is. I mean, you can already see like everyone knows PSG is gonna win, but honestly, I can't really say at the moment who's gonna win or who's gonna change this game. But I will say, Arsenal at the moment, I want to say they will play better, but yeah, no, I would think PSG would win this game, not only because they won the last one, but I think this is the probably the first time in PSG's history to, and also they're doing something really really hard to do, which is get to the final back to back and win it. There's only been one team who can do that, and that's been Real Madrid. So the fact that PSG can get back to the final, you know, get another Champions League is pretty good, and I think PSG takes it. I'm not gonna hate on Arsenal because they did do the good job by getting to the final. I will say they did get fortunate enough to get some teams that weren't as strong as Bayern Munich. They I mean they didn't even face Real Madrid. I mean they PSG did face some very hard matchups. They did. I think Arsenal definitely got lucky. I mean, I will say it is tough to call because if Arsenal play as they did against Atletico Madrid with their just defense and you know get one goal and then defend the whole game, I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to do that. Maybe they might release the whole squad and like try to get that one goal, maybe two. I would say maybe get Saka in there, Gyökeres in there. Gyökeres has been good in the last couple of games. He's been in form. Um, I will say, yeah, I would think PSG would win the game. I would think PSG would win the game. All right. Now the next thing I want to talk about is so hard, where I don't know what's gonna happen because the next couple of games are gonna decide what who's gonna stay in the Premier League, and I think that's been the more exciting thing to talk about because Tottenham and West Ham being in the relegation battle is insane to me because they're probably two of the clubs I didn't think would be in the relegation battle. And I think Tottenham have a game coming up where they are facing Chelsea at home, and I think Newcastle is facing West Ham. I did just watch the Tottenham game the other day versus Leeds, where Tottenham tied the game against Leeds. It looked like Leeds were gonna win the game, but Kinski made such a good save in the last couple of seconds to keep Tottenham in, and I think that's the only reason why Tottenham aren't aren't the ones getting picked to go down because they survived that. So I think it's gonna be hard because I think Chelsea haven't been good this year. And as much as I want to say that Chelsea are going to win the game, they should win the game because they're at home. The thing is, they have a manager he's inexperienced. He's just an interim. He's not really going to stay at the club. And I think right now, where they are, because Chelsea have been bad this year too, it's not like they've been winning consistently. They've been losing so many games. So I would hope Chelsea get a draw or a win. Do I think Tottenham has the chance to win the game? Honestly, no. I don't think so. I don't think so. As much as Tottenham believe that they should, I don't think so. But honestly, you don't know. I don't know. I will say though, the Newcastle and West Ham game is interesting because West Ham, I feel like they should be able to win the game. I mean, the last game that we all watched was the Arsenal versus West Ham game, and I think it's so controversial, the fact that I'm even talking about it, because it's been a while, and the only reason why I'm talking about it now is because I've been busy with work and stuff like that. But Arsenal versus West Ham, I would have to say that it was it was such a bad call where because I was listening to the audio where the ref didn't think he didn't think that there was any foul because well he did want to check the goal if it went in, and it did go in because Declan Rice was in the goal when he kicked it out. But it's so unlucky where the inconsistency with VAR is so bad because I think there was an instant there was a time where Arsenal I think it was Arsenal. I think the first game that Arsenal had against I want to say Villa. I can't remember who it was, but I think they had the same situation where Arsenal were scored the goal, and I think one of the players was keeping the goalie from grabbing the ball, but they looked back and they ended up giving Arsenal the goal instead of calling it a foul, but it did look like it was a foul on the goalie. Same thing with this because they thought Raya got fouled and he did, and they had to you know disallow the goal. But the thing is, I don't understand why, if you're gonna disallow the goal there, or if you're not gonna disallow the goal at that game, why would you disallow the goal over here? So there's inconsistency there, and I think it hurts to see because I think West Ham played pretty poorly, but they definitely should have drew the game because there was one time where I thought, yeah, they should at least get a draw. Because that whole time I'm thinking Arsenal do not look like they're gonna win like 3-0, 2-0. Yeah, they scored one goal, but they again they did the same thing with Atletico Madrid. They didn't really push to win the game. I mean, I'm looking at Man City over here, and they're scoring 3 goals, 2 goals every other game. They're trying to catch up. I mean, I think Arsenal are like at a point where they're just getting through the line to win the Prem. But I think when it comes down to it, when they face a team where they're not scared to go at them, that's when Arsenal really gets pressured. So that's the one thing I want to talk about. And I think at the moment Arsenal do look like they're going to win the Premier League because I think it might be too late for City, even though City have been winning every game. So I think Arsenal do win the Premier League. They're definitely going to beat Burnley. I don't have no doubt about that. They definitely should beat Burnley. And then the last game against Crystal Palace, I would hope Arsenal don't drop points there and they win the league. And as far as Man City still have to play Bournemouth. They still have to play a lot of people. They still have to play 2 more games. So I think it might be too late now. It definitely might be too late. I think the Everton game, tying that game, just I think that's what did it. That's what did it. And again, if Man City don't win against Bournemouth, I think it's over. I think it's over. You just can't tie anymore. It's just a race. erased. But what I will say, I think this week we'll find out if Tottenham are actually staying up, or if West Ham actually decide to step up and get 3 points, because they're only a couple points behind. But we will see. We will see. And as far as what's happening at Real Madrid, because there is a lot of stuff happening at Real Madrid. Not only do I want to point out the fact that it hurts seeing Real Madrid like this, because it's been such a long time since we won a trophy, and the fact that we're in a situation where the players are fighting with each other, it's just so bad right now. It just hurts to see, because I literally watch Real Madrid every single game, and to me sometimes it doesn't even look like they want to win the game. It's just all individuals. It literally all individual play. Like, I don't see them playing as a team. I think the only players I ever see playing as a team is Valverde and Tchouaméni. Those are the Tchouaméni does good, Valverde does good. I want to say Goulet does good. I mean, who else can I say? This is what I mean. Not many people play as a team. Like, the only people I can think of who are still in this team who want to play as a team is maybe Brahim Diaz and Rudiger, which is crazy to say because he's even fighting with Carreras right now, and it's just so bad. It's just so bad. I don't even want to talk about the fight with Tchouaméni and Valverde, because I didn't think it would get this bad, to where I knew for a fact, because there's some leaks saying that supposedly Danny Ceballos leaked the information that they were fighting. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this guy came from Real Betis. It does not surprise me he would leak that, because obviously he knows he's not gonna play next year, and he's probably gonna get sold or probably loaned out. Who knows? I don't even know. I don't even care, honestly. Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me he leaked it. I mean, they definitely need to apologize to each other, and I will say it hurts, because I mean, I watched the El Clasico game, and what I saw was nothing. I mean, congrats to Barca, because what I saw was absolutely atrocious. Not one person was calling for the ball. Not one person was asking to go up. No one was even running that whole fucking time. We literally were. It was literally like watching a Parks and Recs game where you had some players wanting to score a goal, and then some players just in the midfield waiting for the ball. Not one person was tracking back. They were literally walking on the field that whole time. I was watching Vinny on the right side just walking the whole time. Like, this guy didn't want to be in the game as much as he did. And even when he got the ball, he was trying to be in the game. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, if you're playing in one of the biggest games of the year, you have to realize this isn't just another game. This is El Clasico. There's over 1 million people watching this game, and the fact that you guys are not playing to win the fucking game, the league's done. No one gives a fuck. But the fact that you're letting Barcelona, one of your biggest rivals, beat you, and for them to beat you at their home, lifting the trophy in your face, you don't want to see that as a Madrid fan. As a Madrid fan, you want your players as a fan. You want to see them stop Barca from winning the game. You want them to stop lifting the trophy at their home, and you want to force them to actually win another game besides you to lift that trophy. Like, you want to give yourself some hope and pride to win the game. But not one person came out and even thought about that. Yeah, that's just a big disappointment, honestly. Honestly, that's all I can say about that. Biggest disappointment. And it's crazy to say, because I think the next manager is probably going to be Mourinho. I mean, we haven't had Jose Mourinho in such a long time. It's been over like a decade. We've seen this guy do good in general in any club. So we'll see how it goes. But I will say, it is exciting to have him, though. It is exciting. I think he's definitely gonna control what's gonna happen. But yeah, it is exciting to see. All right. Well, before we end the video, we made an Instagram. All right, we made an Instagram here. Let's see. We made an Instagram here. Okay, we made an Instagram here. All right, so make sure to follow our Instagram, and also we'll watch that another time. Yeah, and also make sure to follow the Twitter. Okay, we'll look at all that after. Honestly, I want to talk about that after. It is very important. Yeah, but I think the next video is probably gonna be about what the president is gonna say. Yeah. All right. This is gonna be the last time you'll see me for a while, maybe. And please like, subscribe, share the video. Ciao.